Hey YouTube, it's Coach Dragonmar here, and welcome to a new video. Today, guys, we're going to be taking a look at a coaching session that I had with one of my students who has had some really good progress in just the first week after coaching. And I wanted to share our first session together, which I think was a really good one. And guys, before we jump into that coaching session, let's talk about the potential for you guys to be part of a coaching session. And that is going to be a 10-day boot camp that I'm going to be running with Ghost Academy, as well as 2 other coaches that I want you guys to check out. So if you head over here to ghostoacademy.com, you go to choose your boot camp, you will see the Valorant boot camp, Dragonmar, TMV, and Neil Zeno. Let's take a look and see what that is. All right, so inside this boot camp, you have me and TMV making the same exact face. If you guys are interested, this boot camp's gonna be 10 days long. It's gonna start on the 24th. Don't worry, these sessions are gonna be recorded. And as you can see, each day has a specific theme, right? We're gonna be drilling these ideas, these skills, these concepts into your head. And then boom, Dragonmar comes to the VOD class right after to go over those exact things using your guys' gameplay and your VOD. And guys, what I love about this boot camp is that you're going to be working with 3 coaches. You've obviously got me, and then you have Thinking Man Valorant, who does a lot of that pro game analytical strategy breakdown. And then you have a former head coach of G2 and Dark Zero, current analyst of FBX, in Neil, who quite literally taught pro players and coached them. So this is an opportunity you guys are not going to want to miss. You might be wondering if this boot camp is going to be worth it for you. And I think the answer is yes. If you guys have ever considered coaching, this is a pretty incredible value. I highly recommend this boot camp to anyone watching right now who is interested in becoming the best player they can be. For 10 days of coaching, which is easily 15 plus hours, this is an incredible value. And honestly, it means a lot to me to see you guys there. You guys can check it out with the link in the video description, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the start of the boot camp.
No trade.
Okay, how did the jet get behind you there?
The jet? That's a good question, honestly.
Were you looking at your map to see where your team was, if anyone was holding it?
No, because I think the jet had crossed through here.
Yeah.
Because we had a sky mid doors. As far as I'm concerned, I did not look at spawn, to be honest. I don't know if she rotated through there.
So no, she didn't. She came through cave, right? But no one is holding that area, right? So when you peek, you're immediately putting yourself into a potential crossfire, right? That's where you got to play this sort of area a little differently. Like you can't expose yourself to 2 angles at once, right? You're never gonna win that fight. So thankfully you kill a jet before dying, but that could have been even worse than that, you know. So that was my worry the whole round. Actually, is someone was gonna come mid at some point, like through elbow or something. I wanted you, I think, to reposition, right? You had you and your 2 teammates on site. So I think there you could have walked through mid and elbow.
I think it's like I look at my map and I won't look for the next 20 seconds because I'm pretty sure I saw like chamber there mid nest and then
but he walked through mid to flank. He didn't actually go through elbow, right? So he was going on a deep flank, which leaves that route exposed to you. So you actually, that could have been horrible if maybe 2 of them went there, catch you guys on the side or something.
KO mid. 2. 3. Oh, that was stupid.
Yeah, that was a really interesting round, right? Like I feel like you're trying to switch up where you're playing a bit. You're trying to play closer to mid, you know, play off teammates, but at the same time, your teammate was already dead, right? Like, and then you just kind of jiggle into a spam of players, you know.
Yeah.
That's where maybe, you know, peeking off of the recon, right? You maybe could have looked for drone contact or something, you know. I think that was always going to be tough. You don't have an escape, right? You're playing Sova. How do you escape that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like I could have backed off when I heard the first 2 or 3, but
yeah, you could have backed off early, but once you commit to that, there is no escape, right? You're all or nothing there.
Oh shit, I didn't know he was that close.
Definitely can't drone that one. That was way too dangerous.
I was like contemplating as I was pulling out the drone, but I was like, fuck it.
Listen, without someone holding you, like without a teammate holding your push and like having more control there, yeah, it's too risky. Would you consider pushing halls this round?
Yeah.
That worked, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Why did it work?
Well, I caught them off guard. I was quiet most of the time.
What have they not been pushing very much?
Hall.
Right. So you just identify where they're not playing, what they're not doing, you take advantage of it. You know, that was free. Thankfully, Chamber dies as well, which helps a lot. Got a little risky there at the end. One thing you need to do more, though, when you're moving through like that, you got to make call-outs. Just say, hey, I'm flanking. You know, stay alive on site. I'm pushing halls. When you use your drone, tell your teammate you're going to drone for him, right? Make sure you're communicating throughout the round, everything, okay?
Jet, careful behind me. Oh, this is risky. Ah! 141 KO. Oh my god.
Well, you had a good play.
And I whiffed.
You just whiffed, right? And hey, we'll blame it on the res change, right? I mean,
okay.
listen, it was, you know, there's something I say a lot, right? It's a smart play with poor execution, you know?
Ah, shit. Good trade.
Yeah. I want to ask you. I know. I want to ask you one question. Did you know that the player was there, though? The enemy was behind that box when you chose to fight Jet?
No, I noticed when Sky calmed it, and then so I shot.
Okay.
Put a shot there.
So yeah, again, I think you're missing map information. Now, actually, I agree with the play of shooting the Jet instead of focusing and running over there, because Jet would have had a shot on you if you wouldn't have been holding her. You actually playing there was kind of good, but you didn't mean to, right? And that's the problem. It's like you did the right thing, but you didn't mean to do it. So someone definitely had to hold that Jet, and it should have been you. But yeah, you're not seeing the map right now. That's definitely going to be a problem.
Gecko. What bulldog?
Okay. Do you know what I'm going to say to you about this round?
What?
Did you notice when you did you realize your Jet was going to push that final corner there in the backside?
I mean, I sort of did. That's why I kind of scrambled to try and trade just in case.
Exactly. Got to be there quicker, right? That should have been your priority the whole time. That needs to get cleared, okay? That's just like, that's part of the clearing process of B. So you have to know that you got to turn that. And if your teammate's going there, you should be there too, right? Like, that's just, that's a no-brainer. So I sometimes have a problem with this, right? You would site control, I believe, right? And you have a Viper wall. Just wait for your Viper wall and then just run in, right? Like, you're already set up for the site. It's a 4v2. I think that one of the biggest mistakes you can make is to isolate your team, right? Now, thankfully, this one worked out. But I do think that what just happened can oftentimes be one of those situations where you just overthink and you're trying to do too much. And you got to keep it simple sometimes. So thankfully, it worked out. But definitely something we want to pay attention to moving forward as well. Why do you think you lost that fight?
I mean, I was caught in an awkward position, for one.
Yeah.
Two, I did have the pressure of somebody playing Nest and Viper pushing up on me. I don't know, that's all I can really think of.
Do you think you could have went into like elbow to isolate the Nest player and then you don't even have to worry about the flanker? Like, because your teammate died, right?
Right.
So once you lose vision of that Viper on flank, once you like ran back through a wall, I mean, you don't have to re-challenge instantly, you know? That's where you can fall back a little, reset, maybe you hold, and another guy gets too aggressive Nest, right? How many times does that happen? Your teammate's fighting someone, you think you're safe, you swing, but the guy's aiming at you, right? So that's definitely an option. You know, you didn't have to immediately re-challenge or stay and fight her. Could have moved back a little, still had another teammate. That was winnable, right? I mean, that was a 2v3. Okay. Didn't love that. One thing I'll say there at the end, though, when your teammate was fighting that KO at the very end, get out of bricks. Like, just run towards the pyramid or something. You know, like, create a new angle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When the enemy gets distracted, those are the best times to reposition. So taking a new angle there, I think, is way better than trying to fight from bricks. And thankfully, you did push up. It was a little awkward, right? So you kind of have the idea, but you got to be quicker, right? This is where a second or two matters. Who knows? He kills that guy cave, you push up, he swings you. I mean, who knows what happens, right? So that's where thinking earlier, thinking faster is really important.
Backside. Shit.
All right, talk to me. Where are you trying to go there?
I was gonna try and play right here.
You're gonna try to play up top against the.
No, 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 no. Like right here at that edge of sight between the two walls in that corner
Okay.
where he was aiming at just now.
I was gonna say, I mean, you had drone, right? I mean, well, that's a perfect ability when they're starting to push in. So what I would say there to you, Ryan, is just play for your drone, right? I mean, that's really, really, really good utility. Send it up high, get a ton of info on where players are, just hide behind the wall and wait, like clear it. That Viper ball is not going to be up forever. You know what I mean? So just give yourself some time there, because these are the type of deaths that can lose you rounds, right? Go kill him, Ryan. You got this guy. This is easy. Told you.
Yeah, I don't know why I went to play Briggs.
Hey, Ryan, what ability did you not use this game?
My ult the entire time. I noticed that right away. I thought of it like the beginning of the round. I'm like, dude, I'm like one off ult.
Listen, I'm not one of those people who feels like the ults are make or break, but first of all, congratulations. Second of all, I mean, to play 21 rounds of Valorant and not use your ult one time feels like we're missing something, you know? And it's not like we're popping off this game and we're just, oh man, we're getting so many kills. Who cares about the ult, right? Like, that could have been massive for you in certain rounds. So the very first thing I'm going to say to you before we go any further is let's look to make plays off of our ult, because this isn't just a Sova thing. And who knows if we have you playing Sova moving forward, right? This is something we'll have to talk about. But one of the very first things we can say is that when it comes to having an ult and when you're not having much value outside of the ult, let's be honest, wasn't a ton of impact this game. Decent with the utility usage overall. I like your comms, but you weren't really getting into a lot of the action maybe when you could have. And some of this positioning, some of it's just your team. A lot of things going on here. But to finish 21 rounds of Valorant without using your ult, when your ult is pretty decent, and I would honestly say not that hard to use. I really don't think, sending your drone up, tagging someone, and then ulting. I mean, that's the simplest way to use it, right? Didn't see that once. Now, one thing I will say is I think it's worth maybe for you to start trying to play for your ult. So setting things up with your team pre-round, like, hey, I'm going to hang back. You guys take sight. We'll play for my ult this round. Things like that, which are things we didn't see you do, right? You never really took that control of the game, tried to maybe call the strats. Maybe someone else was calling them. Can't hear them, obviously. But these are all things I want you to do. Because I got to be honest, I don't want you ending games with 0 ults, being used when you have 2 available at the very least. So that's something we'll definitely have to look at. Now, first and foremost, how do you feel like you played this game?
I didn't do the best. I was very passive again. I definitely could have been more involved in the action, like you said. I could have played where I was able to be traded easier a lot of the attack side rounds.
Yeah.
Then, like you said, the ult is a big one. There were a lot of times where I had 3 people on site as well, and I'd be still back in window.
Yeah, I think that positioning wise, too passive, right? And I think that's a big part of the agents you're choosing as well. So Sova, in my opinion, is the biggest culprit when it comes to passive and overly passive plays, because everything about him says hang back, play for this, or use this from far away, because the range on certain things are insane, right? So you're incentivized with him to do that, and unfortunately for you, that incentive was too alluring, and you're like, oh hell yeah, this is what I want to do. So I think that's part of the problem here, is that you definitely found yourself out of a lot of the fights, and some rounds your team literally just winning the round without you anywhere near it, right? And in some rounds, you would be in the thick of a fight, and then you would just pull out your drone on pyramid and die, or you wouldn't even realize there was a guy 3 feet from you fighting your teammate because you're not checking the minimap, right? Like, there are definitely things going on that are contributing to the passiveness and the lack of impact. But you're definitely right. I do think that overall, when I look at your playstyle in this game, it was slightly too passive. The most aggressive play we saw from you was when I, was like, hey, why don't we go down halls, right? Like I told you I wasn't going to do that, but I had to, right? And it worked. And why did it work? Well, there's a lot of reasons, right? Like we said, They had not been pressuring it. So it was an area of the map that I was able to identify, like, hey, this is somewhere these guys are not really pushing. We can take advantage of this. Thankfully, no one was holding it. We actually heard the op in cave as you were beginning. So we're like, oh, okay. I know you're pretty clear here. And chamber dies, which is perfect. You get on the flank, get your kill, whatever. Could have been even bigger than that, potentially. Who knows? Now, communication-wise, right? That's where I want you to talk more on those flanks, right? That's where I really want to, hey, guys, stay alive on the site. I got a big flank or whatever. That's where that can really matter. Didn't matter too much in this one, but definitely something to think about in the future. Now, I will say that, like I said, that was one of your most aggressive plays we saw all game. Other than that, you had that one frenzy up close play. Aside from that, where was the aggression from you, right? And the question we need to answer is not necessarily where the aggression was, because we know it wasn't really there, but why are you not getting aggressive? Why are you not trying to make some plays here and there? Are you, first of all, are you scared? Are you incentivized by the wrong things? Are you, what is going on that is making it so that you play back so much? Now, is the agent you're playing? Is it something your team is doing? There's a lot of answers to this question. This isn't very straightforward, but that's something we're going to have to think about, because in my opinion, every player needs to have some part of their playstyle revolve around aggression, whether that be, certain types of flanks, or maybe some like mid pressures, some fast pushes, maybe you push down elbow one round on defense, right? To me, the perfect player is well-rounded. And when we look at how you played this game, Ryan, do you think this is a very well-rounded game of Valorant?
Hell no.
No, right? So that is where there is tons of area for improvement, right? And that is what we're going to focus on as we move forward. So, that being said, let's think here. I want to talk about your agent pool. And guys, that is where we're going to cut the coaching session short. Obviously, the end of my coaching sessions are a little bit more personal, and it's like that one-on-one for the student, which I do like to kind of keep a little more private if possible. And again, I just want to reiterate that I am going to be teaching a 10-day boot camp. This is the first time I've done something like this, so your feedback is actually really important, because if you guys like this, if this is really useful, I'm going to keep doing these. So if you guys want to check it out, gosuacademy.com. Check out our boot camp. I think it's also just a great value, a good way to connect with other like-minded individuals who want to get better at Valorant. A lot of my students are going to be there, so this is going to be a lot of fun to do. And yeah, I just hope to see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching the video. As always, so sorry the videos have not been coming out consistently. I hope to get that corrected soon. And hey, see you guys in about 2 weeks for the boot camp. Otherwise, I'll see you on YouTube. Take it easy. Have a good one. See you next time. Peace.